And that's how I got my first ATM deal. Hey guys, Ben here, helping you earn more, spend less, and invest the difference. Now today I'm going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite side hustles. And in a lot of times it's not really even a side hustle, because more often than not, this can easily replace your full-time income, where this becomes your primary hustle, not your side hustle. Yeah, that's right. We're talking about owning your own ATM business. Now, contrary to what most people believe, if you go into a store and use that ATM is not affiliated with any bank whatsoever. The banks do not own the overwhelming majority of ATMs. Most ATMs are owned and operated by regular dudes just like me that's more than happy to collect your $3 surcharge. The best part of the ATM business is that it's like 95% passive. Besides going out once or twice a month to restock your ATMs, you're not really doing anything. You're just sitting on the couch collecting money. And the great thing about an ATM business is that your rates of return, your return on your investment, are ridiculously high. Like, you're not going to make these kind of returns with real estate, in the stock market, or really any other type of investment, at least not that I'm aware of. If you can just get 10 different ATMs up and running, you can probably replace your entire annual income. So a few years ago, I was living in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was getting my hair cut, and I go up to the counter and try to swipe my card, and the guy behind the counter is like, no bro, we don't take cards, but there's an ATM, you gotta go out the door, down the stairs, around the corner, turn right, turn left, head up the stairs. Like, it was ridiculous. I could not find this ATM for the life of me. So I just cannot find this stupid ATM, and I'm getting pissed off, and I walk back to that barber shop, and I'm like, bro, seriously? Like, this is what you're telling customers to do? Why don't you just get your own ATM machine in your store? And that's how I got my first ATM deal. Well guys, when it comes to starting your own ATM business, there is no set standards. You are in control. So I'm going to kind of tell you what I do, but realistically, you as the owner, you are in full control. You can own and operate your business however you see fit. There is no right or wrong way to do it. So when it comes to locations, the best places are going to be places that quite often deal with cash transactions, have a high flow of customers. So a lot of places like strip clubs are going to be fantastic. Bars, nightclubs, nail salons, barber shops, different events, like is there a flea market in town or something like that, or sporting events, concerts, etc. And realistically, all you're going to do is walk into the store and ask to speak to the manager or the owner or somebody that has decision-making process within that establishment. And you're going to see if they're interested in trying to put an ATM machine inside their location. Now, you're always going to need to find ways to make this a win-win situation. You want to win by getting a machine inside their store, but they need a way to win as well. They need some reason why they should allow you to put an ATM in their store and collect money. Now, sometimes the store simply having an ATM and being able to provide that extra service for their customers is all the reason that the owner needs. So that first location for that barbershop, that was it. Like, they were more than happy just to let me put in that ATM for free. Like, I didn't pay them anything in order to put that ATM in that location, because previously they were telling people all these super complicated directions of how to get to this other ATM located in a different store. But otherwise, some things that you can tell the owner is that you're generally able to provide more services, because if they have an ATM machine in this location, then some people will start coming to this location just to use their ATM, and as long as they're walking inside, there's a decent chance that they will become customers. They'll start using this barbershop, or they'll start using this restaurant, or wherever it's located. As long as they're walking in the door, they might actually buy something. And it's just good customer service for people that are already in the store, if you can provide this service to them. But also, every time a customer swipes their credit card, Visa or MasterCard or whoever it is, they charge a surcharge to the merchant. So they typically charge, give or take, around 3%. So hypothetically, let's just say that you're walking into a barber shop and they usually accept credit card. if every time that a person swipes their credit card for, let's just say, a $20 haircut, if Visa takes 3%, then Visa is charging the merchant 60 cents for the privilege of being able to use that credit card machine and be able to use the Visa network. Now, if you stop and think about it, if every single customer you're essentially paying 60 cents, because a lot of customers use credit cards, right? So these 3% surcharges, they can start adding up to some pretty significant amounts of money. So if you can tell your owner or manager or whatever, hey, simply by installing this machine into your business, you can start to eliminate this credit card surcharge fee. You just tell people to get cash from the ATM machine. Other ways that you can make it a winning situation for the store owner is just to simply cut them in on the profits. So for example, most of the locations that I have my ATMs in, I charge either $3 or $3.50, kind of depending on the location. And so typically in situations like that, I might give the store owner 25% of whatever that transaction fee is. So if it's a $3 transaction fee, then the store owner would make about 75 cents and I would make $2.25. And the overwhelming majority of store owners are going to jump at this chance because that is truly passive income, because you're providing the machine, you're providing the servicing, you're providing the restocking of the machine, you're doing all the work, and they're just collecting 75 cents every time somebody uses that machine. Now, if they already have an ATM machine inside that location, that's okay. Still talk to the owner, see if they're happy with their current provider, because sometimes they're not. Sometimes the machine is broken and nobody comes out to fix it, or sometimes they're not restocking the machine, so customers are upset because the machine is empty and they can't use it, whatever the case may be. Or maybe they are happy with their current provider, but you just decide to undercut them. So maybe the current provider is paying them 10% or 25%, or it doesn't really matter. What if you just decided that, hey, I'll give you 35% of the profits. Like, I'll give you a bigger cut of the profits than you're currently making with this other guy if you just hire me instead. Now, when it comes to finding locations, new businesses are going to be the prime targets because more than likely they don't already have a deal set up with an ATM provider. So these are going to be your best bets. And honestly, just go to Google and type in new businesses near me. So I just typed this into Google and this is the website that popped up, and look, this has a listing of all kinds of different, bars or taverns or restaurants that are in the process of opening or have just already opened. Get on Google, look up these individual companies, get on the phone, or better yet, drive and talk to these owners or managers in person and start signing up clients. So when you get somebody to say, yes, put a machine in my location, you're going to want to sign a contract with that individual that kind of locks all of the terms into place. Now, obviously, you are free to generate your own contracts. You can put anything that you want inside these contracts as long as you and the store owner agree to it. You can put literally anything you want in here. If you're interested in a free template to at least get you started with making your own contracts, I will leave a link below where you can check out a free template for an ATM service. Now, once you have a signed contract, that is when you actually go out and purchase your ATM. Now, brand new ATMs, you can usually get them for between $2,000 to $3,000, and they usually come with at least a 1-year warranty, oftentimes a 2-year warranty. So realistically, nothing should be going wrong with these things, at least not right off the bat. And generally speaking, ATMs are extremely reliable. Like, most times, these things are going to spit out millions of bills over the course of their lifetime with very little maintenance. But if there is maintenance, then the majority of things are relatively simple that you can do yourself, like if a bill gets stuck or something like that. Or all of the places that you can buy these ATMs from, they usually have like a 1-800 number or something like that where you can call and somebody will come out and service these ATMs for you. So typically right off the bat, it's going to cost you about $2,000 to $3,000 to purchase the ATM itself. And then obviously you're going to need to stock the ATM as well. Now, the amount of money that you put in there, honestly, it's up to you. Obviously, the more money you put in the ATM, the less you have to go out and actually restock it. Maybe when you're first starting out, you don't have a whole lot of money, so you go out and you restock this thing maybe every week or every 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. But as time goes on, you start making more and more money. Maybe you want to put in a little bit more money into the machine where you only have to go out maybe once a month to do your rounds. So now the $1,000,000 question, how much money can you actually make owning your own ATM? Well, the average nationwide ATM usage is somewhere between 6 to 10 transactions per day. Now, if we just assume sort of the average, if we just assume 8 transactions a day, if you're charging a $3 surcharge, and hypothetically I'm paying 25% to the owner of the store, so I am making $2.25 off of every transaction, and there is 8 transactions a day. The math on that comes out to $18 a day that I'm earning. And if you extrapolate that out, 365 days at earning $18 a day, that's roughly $6,600 a year for one machine. But that's just one machine. What if you had 5 machines or 10 machines? 10 machines would be roughly $66,000 a year. And like I said, that's mostly passive income because you might only need to go out and refill these machines once every 2 weeks or once a month. The rest of the time, you're just sitting on your couch collecting money. Now, yes, every once in a while the machine will break and you might have to pay somebody to go fix it, or you might have to go fix it yourself. And every once in a while a bill might jam and so you have to do a little bit of work. But for the most part, all you're really doing is doing your rounds maybe once a month and collecting that money. But now you might be saying, but I don't have $2,000 to $3,000 to go out and actually buy an ATM. What can I do then? Like I said, getting the contract with that store location, that's the hard part. Everything else is easy. Now, while buying an ATM outright, paying that $2,000 to $3,000, that's probably the best way to go in the long run. But if you're first starting out, there are companies that will literally give you the ATM machine for free, but they just take a cut of any of the profits that you make. So in the long run, it's cheaper just to buy the machine outright, but in the short term, especially when you're first starting out, these companies will literally give you the machine for free. You're just not going to be making the full $2.25. You're going to be making a little bit less. But you're going to be able to get this process off the ground starting on day one with no money out of pocket, except for, the few hundred or few $1,000s that you have to put into the ATM machine, just the cash to begin with. But even that initial cash, there's loan servicing departments that will front you that money and get you off the ground. So theoretically, you could literally start this business with no out-of-cost expense. You're just going to have to pay some interest on whatever money that they initially loan you to put in the machine itself, and then you're going to pay a recurring transaction fee every time somebody swipes their card at your location because they gave you the ATM for free to begin with. Now, when I was scaling my business, I rapidly scaled to about 22 different locations. And on the low end, some of my worst machines were making maybe $150 to $200 a month in profit. And on the high end, some of my better locations might make $1,000 or $2,000 in a month, just kind of depended. So let's stop and think about this, guys. How hard do you think it would be for you to go out and find 10 different stores that would be willing to let you put an ATM in their store? Because theoretically, you can get these ATMs, you can do all this stuff literally for free. You just pay that little transaction fee. So if you can get 10 machines, you could be making multiple tens of thousands of dollars a year. And how hard do you actually have to work in order to earn this money? All right, yeah, you're going to spend a little bit of time up front getting those contracts signed, finding the locations, etc. But after that, you might only work 1 day a month when you just drive to your 10 different locations and fill all that stuff up, right? Like it might take you maybe 3-4 hours or whatever to hit all your locations and refill them with cash. So 3-4 hours a month to potentially earn $66,000? Yes, please. And that's just if you only have 10 machines. What if you had 20, 50, or 100 machines? Like, the sky is the limit. when it comes to owning and operating your own ATM machine. Just get out there, hustle, find those locations, and the rest is easy. If you found this video useful, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment down below, give it a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and as always, I'll see you all again next time. Thanks.